really excited to interview you and learn more about what you're up to and learn just how you've become so successful in the terms of relationship building. And I always tell people that I'm actually grateful that I was a stupid kid growing up, that I wasn't good in school, because it forced me to figure out how to connect with people and share other gifts with people so that I could get to where I want to be in my life.
You know, some of the most successful entrepreneurs grew up with learning disabilities because exactly your point is they had to rely on other people.
Right.
And in order to build their teams, grow their organizations, a lot of dyslexics actually have been great entrepreneurs who learn early on that people are critical to them being successful.
Yeah. And were you dyslexic, or did
I'm
you
not.
did you have learning challenges in school?
No, I've got a lot of challenges. Learning was never
I
one
know
of
your
them.
challenges.
Learning was never one of them.
That's
right?
cool. So you were like an A+ student?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was scared to death not to be.
Wow.
My parents invested so damn much in me, and we were poor as all get out. My dad was unemployed most of my young life. My mom was a cleaning lady. They bent over backwards to make, and I would never defy the work that they put into me to not return a good grade. Right.
Right. Wow.
But I do have to say that I've struggled, and I was a really independent performer in my athletics. I was a wrestler. I was a pole vaulter. Right.
I didn't know you did the pole vault. So
Yeah.
did I.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you.
What was your?
I was going to say I'm not going to ask you what you cleared.
What did you clear?
I'm not even talking about it. We're going to move on.
Was this high school or college?
It was high school.
Okay.
It was high school. I cleared more than my height. Put it that
That's
way.
good.
But my point is that I had everything that I teach people. I had to learn myself. I mean, this wasn't natural to me. It wasn't forced through, being dyslexic and having to rely on others. And I think that's one of the reasons I've been as good as we have been at our company at translating some of these amorphous soft skills into real practical, tactical action.
Sure. Because
I had to put them to practice myself.
Yeah. Interesting. Now, did you have any mentors growing up as well that supported you with some of these things, or was it all like you just
I actually, that's a good question, because to me, mentorship is a very misunderstood idea. Most people think of mentors as, let's find a guy like Lewis here who we look up to and would like to aspire to be, and please, allow me to learn everything at your feet.
Right.
That's kind of bullshit.
Which doesn't work.
Well, I don't know if it works or not, but the bottom line is you are a mentor. The lunch that we had together, you coming up to my house, what I learned from your podcast, from your work, teaches me something. And if I need to find a group of people in my life constantly that I'm learning from.
Yeah.
They're my mentors.
Yeah.
I don't try to rest too much weight in any one individual. Our job is to create a roadmap of individuals in our lives through whom we learn. Right? And I just started I was just chatting with you about a second ago, I started a new high-tech mobile enterprise software company.
Yes.
Right? I am so out of my element. But, I'm raising money, I'm hiring individuals, I'm coming up with strategy, I'm building a sales force, I'm doing a lot of the stuff I know how to do, a lot of stuff I don't know how to do. I am finding mentors.
Yeah.
Left and right. It's survival.
You are, yeah.
So mentorship to me is about relational learning. And if you think about it that way, then you don't have a mentor. You have many mentors around your learning roadmap.
What is relational learning? What does that actually mean?
Relational learning is just that. You figure out, all right, what are my goals in life? You've got plenty of goals in your life, and we've talked about these. At lunch, I remember that great conversation we had. And then what you do is you assign to your goals a relationship action plan. And a relationship action plan, as I teach in Never Eat Alone, had to do with who are the individuals that will open up opportunity for me. Right? That's great, but then the next question is, who are the individuals that'll teach me the stuff I need to do to be successful once I get there and on my way to getting there? Wow. That's a distinct relationship map. You have the opportunity relationship map. Who's going to get me that job? Who's going to introduce me to the network that I need? Who's going to help me get clients? Opportunity network.
Which is huge.
And then the relational learning network is separate, right? And I think both are critical to be curated.
Interesting. What's more important? Getting the foot in the door, or
yes, right. I mean, because if you show up as an empty suit, without the intellectual curiosity, without the inquisitive questions, which I learned from the learning roadmap individuals, the relational learning roadmap, the answer is yes. I guess I would rather get a shot at the job if I had to choose one or the other. The opportunity roadmap is critical. but I have to tell you, you'll never exceed, you'll never grow. And then the third set of relationships, which we've talked about, are the lifelines that actually go one step deeper. It's not about knowledge acquisition. It's about butt-kicking accountability. It's that small group of people, those lifeline relationships, as I talk about in Who's Got Your Back, that won't let you fail.
Yeah.
Right? So for us to achieve anything we want to achieve in our life, we got to have the opportunity, we got to have the knowledge and the wisdom, but then we have to have the chutzpah, the push, the drive,
hustle,
the accountability that, frankly, most of us will fail ourselves and need somebody else for butt kicking.
Yeah, exactly. And the challenge that I see with most people is that they don't have a support group or accountability group or a mastermind or whatever you want to call it. So how does someone first find that and figure out who the right people are that aren't going to suck the energy from them, but are also going to give and take at the same time?
Look, it's trial and error. When I wrote Who's Got Your Back, there's a chapter in it that talks about the long, slow dinner. And, you know, I think by the time we're done here in a short period of time, I want everybody who's watching us to have a relationship action plan. So, you know, as we're sitting here, scribble down your goals. And next to every goal, start writing 3 to 5 people's names critical to achieving those goals, right? That's the opportunity group. Then I want you to ask yourself, who to achieve my goal do I want to learn from? Write those names down. Then start imagining who are the people that I could trust around there are 4 core characteristics of a lifeline relationship. And frankly, all relationships, but the tightest ones have to have 4 things. Yeah. Number 1 is intimacy to the point of vulnerability. Can I tell you when, you know, I'm really feeling weak? Can I tell you when I'm up against the wall? Intimacy to the point of vulnerability. Second is generosity. Do I really want to help you, and do you really want to help me? Do we care enough to help? Generosity. Candor. Will you tell me the truth? Right? Most intimate, critical relationships lie to each other. And they shouldn't. Sure. Candor and conflict avoidance is horrible.
Why do they lie to each other? Because they just don't want to make each other feel bad?
Placation. They think that that's their role to make each other feel good. Look, I mean, I think a lot of it is that people don't realize that relationships need to be leaned on. The relationships aren't scarce. That they're a lot of people are conflict avoidant out of psychological fear of abandonment. I mean, there's a lot of insecurities and fear that drive our relational behaviors. And I have to say that conflict avoidance has to be one of the most erosive elements of organizational and human society, right? So the fourth is accountability, right? But candor and accountability together make a high-performing relationship. What I would do is I would list 3 people that you have a strong enough relationship with now. You and I have a perfectly reasonable and strong enough relationship. I call it a level 2 relationship. Okay. Right? Maybe we're bordering on a 3, but certainly 2 to 3, and 3 is a strong relationship. Yeah. If you want to go to a lifeline, which is like in my world a 3+, what you're going to do is you're going to go out and have a long, slow dinner. You're going to take your armor off. And you're going to say, look, here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm afraid of. And here's how I think I'm going to get there. What do you think? And see how the person responds. Do they respond with candor? Do they respond with intimacy? Do they let their guards down? Do they respond with accountability? At the end of the dinner, are they saying to you, dude, let's talk next week because I think you should do these 2 or 3 things, and I'm going to hold you accountable for them, damn it. Now, if after the dinner they don't call you the following week, then maybe they're not the right person to be your lifeline, right? I know that was a very circuitous way to get to answer your question.
That's great, interesting. Now, why is it so many? I love that process, and I think getting to the long, slow dinner is great. But there are so many. Let me speak for men, and I'm going to generalize it because not all men are like this. But why are so many men afraid to share what they're afraid of? And I think it'll be hard for a lot of men to get to that level, especially with another man or another woman. Why we
can talk about the sex issue as well, men versus women, because both stereotypically have challenges associated with accelerating relationships and intimacy.
But what I'm hearing from you really quickly is that you've got to get vulnerable to really take the relationship to the next level and get the honesty, the feedback you need.
Look, at the end of the day, vulnerability is fearful because people have all of the characteristics. They think that people are going to use it against them. You feel like you're going to be weak. You'll be judged. You know, you're not the alpha in the pack. you're going to be taken advantage of, etc. That's all of the sort of the primal reptilian brain fears and concerns associated with this, right?
Yeah.
In actuality, we know it's bullshit,
Yeah.
and it all boils down to cowardice. We're just too damn afraid to let our guards down. We're too damn afraid to be vulnerable. If I were to, talk to your audience about my real life today, I mean, it's like, all right, so I'm going to be engaged to be married next year, which I'm thrilled about. I've got 2 boys, and these boys are tough, both foster kids.
Yeah.
For their sake, I don't want to share some of the more challenging and both violent and illegal activities that I've been challenged with in the past year associated with their behavior, and the failure that makes me feel, right? The angst of how much accountability, if your kid breaks the law, what the hell do you do about that? And I mean, there's all answers, right? And my lifelines, I've been tapping into them with angst and tears and challenges, and my fiance and I are challenged constantly with how do we be good parents in this situation. It ain't easy, right? My business is going great, but we just launched a brand new business, which of course draws energy and resources away, and I want to show up for my investors. The first time I've ever taken outside money on something, and so I'm more fearful of letting friends down whose money I've taken away than I ever have about anything else. This is the shit that I struggle with, right? Yeah. Now look, these are good problems to have, right? not my boys' problems, but these are still generally. I'm a blessed man, good problems. But now let me stop. I just did a little exercise. I was authentic, fully.
Yeah.
What do you think when I just said that? What do you think about Ferrazzi as a result of that? What are your instincts?
I think authentic, real, someone I can trust, someone who is open, who's willing to drop their guard, and someone who can have a real conversation with.
Right. And now isn't that you think, what a wimp.
No.
You didn't think, boy, I don't respect him anymore. Right? We all deal with this stuff.
Yeah.
And the willingness to be transparent purposefully, put yourself out there in an accelerated fashion, only accelerates the relationship. It only accelerates the relationship. And that's what, if that relationship is critical, which it is, look, everything we want to achieve and everything that we would like to have in our life will happen with and through other people. If you don't get damn good at being purposeful about the relationship strategy, which is why we teach the relationship action plan, and beyond that, if you don't get willing to push the boundaries of your social discomfort, then you will be mediocre. You will just be mediocre
in your life.
And in your life, you will not achieve what you deserve to achieve.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to be mediocre.
Yeah.
I want them to have a shot like I did.
Yeah.
Amen.
But
anyway,
Amen for that.
Exactly.
Now, when I hear you talk about this relationship action plan, some people I understand what you're getting to, but some people might think, well, is that a little cheesy or lame, or is that fake, that you're like reaching out to someone for an action plan to get something that you want?
Okay, so when my youngest boy came into our home, he's half Mexican, half African American, identifies though as African American. So I wanted to make sure he had good role models in the African American community. I put together a relationship action plan around my boy, right? So I said, I need to get to know, I'm poor when I grew up, but he's a different kind of poor. He's a different kind of poor, like homeless, street poor, right? Drug dealing kind of stuff that he's dealt with, kind of poor. I reached out to people who had come from inner city, homeless, drug dealing lifestyles, who are now titans of their industries, nonprofits, etc. I reached out and I said, hey, listen, I need you at my home for dinner. I need this relationship. I've done my research on you. I want to introduce you to 5 people in my network that I think will be of service to you, your foundation, your business, your stuff. But come on over. Listen, at the end of the day, if we don't sync, that's all cool, but I want to give it a shot. What's wrong with it? Why is that purposefulness? Right? Intentionality. Why is that fake? It ain't fake. I put it out there very clearly. Right? So just because you're purposeful doesn't mean you're fake. It means it's important. So I think that's what I want your audience to recognize, is that again, I'll go back to the basic fundamentals. Relationships are going to be critical to your life. If you don't manifest those relationships and work them strategically, proactively, authentically, courageously, you will be mediocre.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world of mediocrity.
Right.
I don't want that for you.
Right, exactly.
So get off your ass, put your relationship action plans together, let your damn guards down, accelerate relationships. You don't have much time.
Yeah,
Get on it.
I like it.
If you want more greatness in your life, then you got to check out this video right here.
You don't have that moment of your day. I don't care if it's 2 hours, 4 hours, where you shut the entire world out. No Twitter, no Facebook, nothing.
No Instagram, which we love the most.
No Instagram.
We love that Instagram.
Oh.